I'm not surprised by the ruling, Chris, as a lawyer or as someone who's been, watching the lower courts and their rulings. As a pragmatist, I was a little bit surprised because the Supreme Court did not address, as you said, what about the tariffs that have been paid? I mean, that's a murky area. A lot of companies pass those increases along to consumers. So if they file for, refunds or adjustments and they've passed those costs along, it's double dipping. It's going to be really hard to find where the ink is in the milk. So that part's the pragmatic aspect surprised me, not the legal aspect.
Stephen, why wasn't the opportunity taken here to stop listening to Navarro and listen to you and every other conservative economist and say, look, the court did this to us. Let's use it, okay? We believed in the policy. They stopped it. Okay, now we'll do something else. We'll negotiate deals differently. We'll have a strategy. They don't even seem that they were prepared for this. And why continue down the road of tariffs?
Well, look, I'm of two minds on the tariffs, Chris. Number one, I don't like tariffs generally because I'm a free trade guy, and free trade is important for national prosperity, no question about that. But I do favor the way Trump has used tariffs and the threat of tariffs as an incredible negotiating tool in getting very good trade deals. Now, if you go back to the start of last year, it is simply a fact that the United States had lower tariffs on that we were imposing on other countries than they were imposing on us. And Trump simply just said, that's unfair. Right. We're not going to stand for that. And what he was able to do, Chris, and I think you underestimate the impact of this, because, look, I totally disagree with you on the economy. I think we got a really hot economy right now. If you look at the private sector growth, it's very high. Government is shrinking, and that is one of the reasons that the official GDP fell. But my point is, because of this decision, and look, I do agree with you. I think Congress should pass these tariffs through the legislative process, not the president doing it unilaterally. But my point is, one of the reasons I'm a little apprehensive about this decision is now Trump can't go to the Japanese and the Chinese and the Canadians and say, hey, either you do something that's in American interest, lower your tariffs, we're going to hammer you. And he's done it very effectively. Now he can't.
Well, look, one, you're not disagreeing with me. You're disagreeing with the American people. Every poll we have says prices have gotten higher, purchasing power is less, and they are not optimistic about what is to come next. So the idea that we have a robust economy comes from someone who's looking at it down the Wall Street lane, and you're looking at the investor economy. The man that you used to represent and who ran and created MAGA was supposed to be for everybody else. He was supposed to take it away from those guys and make the priority on the working man and woman. That's not happening with these tariffs. That's why you didn't see any real swing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me respond to that, because I happen to have the latest data on what has happened with median income, the people in the exact middle, through 2025, and the average family made $2,400 more above inflation than they did when he came into office. And then when you add to that the fact, see, you talked about, these taxes are costing consumers, and there's truth to that. Some of those tariffs are passed on to consumers, but what about the big beautiful tax bill? I mean, that's saving the average family about $2,500 on their after-tax income. So the average family today has $4,000 more purchasing power after inflation than before Trump came into office.
Why are they saying? Then why do they keep saying they're having trouble keeping up? Why?
I think it's because they're still angry about Biden inflation. Biden caused 83% of the inflation.
Oh, so you think that the American people being polled now are saying that they're not able to keep up with pricing because they're pissed about Biden?
I'm going to make a bet with you, Chris, that when I'm on your show 3 months from now, the numbers, people, the way people feel about the economy is going to catch up with reality. I will bet you a dime to a dollar on that one.
Chris, you mentioned about the Supreme Court finding their memos.
I hope I lose. But hold on, I hope I lose, by the way, because I want people to feel optimistic on good basis. I want that. I don't want bad economy. I don't want distress. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.